So not too long ago, I got a DM from one of you guys telling me to read a manga that they recommended. Though I can't find that DM anymore because I've gotten a lot more from others after that, so I guess it wasn't not too long ago. So too long ago, I got a DM from one of you guys to read a manga that they recommended. Now, this isn't anything rare. It seems like you guys have the misconception that I care about what you think. Yeah, right. But this person recommended a series that caught my eye, and it is named Someone's Girlfriend. Now, that isn't too bad of a recommendation. I read this before years ago, but dropped it because I lost interest. But maybe this would make for a good video with me naming it This Manga Glorifies NTR or This Manga Wants You to Cheat. Therefore, I started reading it. It's about a dude who has a best friend, but one day he started fantasizing that best friend's girlfriend. Okay, not too bad of a premise, but then said best friend's girlfriend starts making moves on him behind the best friend's back, and the dark tones just keep looming, and it gets worse, and yeah, I think I remember why I dropped it. I'm sorry, if push comes to shove, I can tolerate NTR, but there's just something I can't stomach, and that is when the self-insert main character is involuntarily cucking his best friend. Listen, I can like an NTR plotline like mommy hunting in another world or reincarnated as a Gunhwa NPC because the people they are cucking either deserve it or is an absolute villain, but I, for the life of me, could never tolerate doing that to your own bestie. Bros before hoes, goddammit. Actually, I don't even want the hoe. Just give me my bro. I'd rather have bro as my hoe. Except he wouldn't be my hoe because he would instead be my pookie wookie cutie patootie princess that I cherish with all of my life. I'm talking about you, Andre. Why won't you love me? So yeah, I decided to drop that shit again, left it alone, and started making a video that I actually enjoyed doing. I got my minimum wage paycheck, I got your lovely comments, I got a big titty goth to come over and suck my to tell me good job. My life is all good and dandy. But then, as I was browsing my manga sites in search of something to read, I got recommended a manga called Official Adultery. Now in my mind I'm thinking, well, that sounds like a dumb manga I can make fun of. Let's go and read that. But then I noticed that the art cover looks familiar, and so does the name of the artist. And I found out, wait a minute, this is made by the same bitch who made that one. So immediately a few questions flooded my mind. First off, why the fuck is this author so obsessed with making stories involving cheaters? I get if you found your niche, but you used to make a pretty sweet manga before this route, and it was doing fairly well, so it couldn't be a popularity kind of thing. You decided to make this content because you wanted to. So, is he a weirdo? Or does he have something he wants to tell us? Cause don't worry, I'm all ears, buddy. But the second primary question is, what if this is my second chance? I felt unfulfilled for not committing to that video idea, but at the same time, I just couldn't, for the life of me, stomach a few chapters of the manga. But this one is only 12 chapters, and it's done so it could be a different experience. It's shorter, has a similar sounding premise / theme, but from the sounds of it, there won't be any hoes before bros mentality. I can read this. I used to be called Daddy Degenerate. I'm practically a veteran in reading NTR shit. I'm cool, fool. Although it seems like this manga is more mature rated, but it should be fine. I just finished reading Tomodachi Game and it has tons of gore and horrors and disgusting depictions of human nature. I should be able to see disturbing shit and handle it for a little bit. It's not like it's gonna be awful. Yeah, it's pretty awful. So Albert here is struggling to make a baby with his wife Chinami, and they're like super apologetic to each other for not trying hard enough for each other. Moving on from that, he goes to work, gets consoled by his colleague to relieve his struggles, and the dude starts to, I shit you not, speak Portuguese. Now, this might just be a translation error, or you could be a Ronaldo fan watching the World Cup. I don't know. So I go and do the translation, and I find out that he basically said, if it were me, I would only sleep with another girl to relieve my stress. Okay, great. Now we get the confirmation that he's a Ronaldo fan, because like Ronaldo fans, he likes to spew idiotic shit. So Albert goes, nah man, that would hurt my wife, you know, in contrast to cases where it doesn't, right? But now his colleague is like, "Alright bro, then check this girl out. Her name is Futaba, and she's a hot babe, huh? Damn, I mean, yeah, but I have a wife." Come on, man. It's not cheating to just imagine some fantasies with her. It's all good. Now, I might be bringing up my hottest take here, but I personally think it's still a little too much. All power to you, I guess. It honestly depends on how you and your partner set up your boundaries, but I just think you should have no business beating your meat to someone else when you already have your someone else. Like, whenever I'm in a relationship or a relationship adjacent with someone, I don't really goon anymore. Not because I'm not allowed to, but because I kinda can't. Most times my feelings for that person outweighs my lust to others that I couldn't get my gears going when looking at any gooner material. With the sole exception of the MILF tag, of course. But whatever. His weirdo colleague leaves and Albert decides to do the Kazuya special and decides to goon on the rooftop. And as he was screaming out Futaba's name, Futaba came out the roof and catches him on the act. Oh. Well, that's awkward. Little did he know, Futaba is a real person and is his brand new colleague who joined the company he works in. But because of the worst first encounter ever, they start out in the wrongest foot possible. To be fair though, he put the shit all to himself. Like, brother, you had to do it there? You couldn't wait till you get home? At least do it in a closed space or something. 11-year-old me goon in the church bathroom, because at least that way I can prepare to hide when I hear footsteps approaching. You seriously getting outsmarted by me as a child? Anyways, Albert and his wife Shinami all of a sudden got kidnapped by the fucking government. Yes, this is all happening in the span of one chapter. And the guys there were like, yeah, so you guys are gonna have to cheat on each other. Excuse me, what? Yeah, like, come on bro, it's been 6 years and y'all still couldn't leave an offspring? Yeah, we're gonna have to intervene. Basically, we're gonna be making you guys live with another person of the opposite sex, and you guys are definitely gonna start boning each other, and eventually make our country some bebes. This makes no sense! You can't make us do this!
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but my husband is hot and has a huge dongle.
You see, before they got kidnapped, they were having a sweet moment where they stopped caring about making a child and decided to be happy just living within each other's company. It's cute, and that's when the dudes came in and snatched them, so they know their feelings for each other are real. How will the government make them commit adultery on each other now? Well, simple. They decided to inject Shinami with the horny disease, making her to go in heat and look for a partner to mate. Now, that's all well and good, but why wasn't he given the horny disease? Do they just assume that men all naturally think with their penis? This manga is sexist. I mean, they're not wrong, but you're still being a bigot. So Albert gets put in a glorified prison and gets partnered up with, you guessed it, Futaba. Yeah, I saw this coming from like 2 kilometers away. And would you have guessed it, she still fucking hates his ass. Now, I may be very unreasonable, but is this really the time to be petty? I get that this guy is gross to you, but in a situation where you both have a common enemy who separated you from your partners, shouldn't you guys work together to try to find a way out? I don't know, maybe that's just me, because I personally think that's better than the alternative, which is to go with their plan anyway. These guys are like, hey, you guys can't be doing these things to us, it's inhumane. But they still go on to do it. Also, they can go outside? Sons and daughters. That's a gold mine of opportunities. You telling me you guys couldn't figure a way out? But whatever. Let's just say for the sake of plot that they are simply too stupid to figure a way to escape, so they decide to just live with each other. The story eventually leads to a point where they start getting a bit risque, but it was a pretty slow burn. Like, the first spicy moment happened at around chapter 4. Now, in my head I'm wondering, why did it take so long? Not because I'm a gooner or anything, I mean I am, but if his wife got the horny syringe, why didn't she? Did they think Albert is hot enough to seduce anyone within his reach? Damn, they glazing you more than Ronaldo fans glaze Ronaldo. But yeah, eventually things started getting even more spicy. Futaba, as you know it, starts falling for his charms, which then leads to them getting closer to each other. And over multiple instances, she keeps trying to pounce on him, only for Albert to reject her because he thinks it is wrong. However, one day, they get really close. They are super duper edged to do it. Just one more centimeter and the deadlock would have been broken. But then he starts thinking of his wife again and was like, no, I miss her because I love her. God dang it, now my meat is all limp again. And then right afterwards, we pan over to Albert's wife's point of view and she's like, no, I miss him because I love him. But now, before I start looking like a dumbass for justifying her infidelity, I just want you guys to know that I really don't want to see those comments that go, not all women, but always a woman. And I really hope that you guys don't end up looking like the comment section in manga sites because, ew. But let's not forget that she was given the horny disease, okay? They literally stated that she was put in heat by force. She didn't ask for it. If I was suddenly injected with my 14-year-old lustful hormones, I would go back to my prime and goon 8 times a day. However, this little plot device kinda pisses me off because why the fuck didn't Futaba get one? I'm not advocating for her to be forcefully injected with it. I'm just trying to understand the schematics. Why is it that you make it so favorable for Chinami to cheat, yet you try your absolute damnedest to make sure Albert doesn't? Can we just fast forward, by the way? I really don't want to recap the entire manga. I got a flight to catch. So anyways, this stupid fuck-ass experiment finally decides to end. Afterwards, the people who were involved were put far away from each other so that they wouldn't meet again. Time skip happens and Albert and Chinami has a baby! We're gonna talk about this bastard later. But wouldn't you know it, Chinami also gained a mom friend, and that mom friend being, you guessed it, Futaba! Holy shit, this is basically a Mexican telenovela. So I think we can all agree that the father of this baby is kind of in question. They didn't confirm nor deny, so if you're an optimist, hey, maybe this baby really is Albert's and he or she only got conceived after they were saved from the experiment. But if you're a pessimist, then you would come to the conclusion that the baby ain't his. And now you're thinking, oh okay, so the story is gonna be like him ending up with Futaba because her baby is his biological son. No, because the experiment ended without them actually committing the deed yet.
I'm nodding like I understand, but I'm not so sure I do.
I'm not gonna start advocating for cheaters. In fact, I can honestly respect Albert for staying faithful and keeping it in his pants. He's a good dude, and I'd like to drink a beer with him someday. But what are we doing here? Like, you're just gonna make the protagonist of your manga have 2 of his love interests get impregnated by other men? Jesus Christ. I feel bad for bro. I wouldn't even blame him if he went on a villain arc after this. Oh shit, he actually did. You know what? The comment I said about wanting to drink a beer with him? Yeah, I'm gonna have to cancel that appointment real quick, cause I'm pretty sure he would be too busy cheating on his wife. Can you even call this shit revenge? I don't know. Don't ask me, okay? From all I've seen, she was semi-forced to cheat. But I also don't know if that was even the first time she went into action with another dude, or if it was a daily occurrence. Again, don't ask me. I don't want to reread this shit again. But by the near end of the manga, Chinami catches Albert cheating on her with Futaba during their child's concert. Oh, right. Quote unquote, their child. So the last chapter then shows another time skip. Albert gets promoted and sees a co-worker in trouble and he's like, hey man, just cheat on your wife. Honestly, I wish he actually said what I said because the original line is somehow fucking worse. But then Futaba comes in and started talking dirty about how they're still in the secret relationship with each other. Teehee, we are so naughty. Then it keeps on going with Albert and Futaba having a laugh in the rooftop and how they're having so much fun, and the manga is portraying it as something sweet and wholesome, when it's really a scene about 2 adults with families cheating on their partners. Author, what is this? Stop. This isn't cute at all. Are you sick? And I wish it just ends like that. But no, as a final middle finger, it shows an epilogue that revealed Chinami cheating on Albert as well. And the dude that she's cheating with also has a wife. But of course, not a shred of guilt among any of these characters, and it ends with the final page of Chinami smiling as she cuffs her husband while her kid is at home. And then the manga ends right then and there. So, moral of the story is to cheat? Who the fuck greenlit this shit? What an abhorrent manga. Seriously, it is an understatement to say that this manga glorifies NTR because this artist worships it. What's going on at home, bro? You need someone to talk to or what? Cause I'ma need some answers. Speaking of answers, we're gonna have to end this video here. You know, as much as I'd like to spend 5 minutes whining and crying about this manga, unfortunately, I am in a rare circumstance where I actually do have something to do. That joke I said about having a flight to catch? Yeah, no, that was real. I am really cutting it closer to boarding time. All I'ma say is that this manga is straight poo-poo, but that isn't too fair because it isn't really one of those cases where I don't understand it, because I do. I just don't like the direction they took. The fact that this manga starts with the concept of cheating and it ends with quite literally every single character being cheaters is actually pretty consistent. I gotta give credit where credit is due because I respect that the author managed to do everything he wanted to do. I just don't want to see that shit on my feed again. First off, I don't like his obsession of making this out to seem like no one is at fault. I can think of 5 instances where that isn't the case. Then there's this thing he likes to do where everything is dark. Holy shit, is this made for r/I'm 14 and this is deep? And the shit that he tries to tell us in this manga is just so dumb. Like, they make out this narration multiple times that humans can't defy God's formula, implying that God made us out to naturally be cheaters, which I think is so fucking insulting. I don't know, dude. We can interpret our Bible studies however we like, but last I heard, God told us to fucking stone them to death. Unless the God you're talking about is Zeus, then, well, yeah, cause that guy fucking fucks everyone. He doesn't count. But yeah, man, Nikumaru, you do your thing. I just don't want any part of it, so I'm gonna give this shit a 3 out of 10. And yeah, I'm gonna leave now. Bye, B.